I'm hosting Thanksgiving at my house in Denver, Colorado on November 28th, 2024. The room's buzzing with family and friends, the table's groaning under turkey and pie, and I'm feeling like the king of this little feast. Then my wife, Laura, decides it's time to remind everyone who the real court jester is. She yells across the chatter, loud enough to stop forks mid-air. "At least you guys have something exciting going on. I can't say the same for our bedroom." The air freezes. A few awkward chuckles sputter out, and I feel my face burn like I've just face-planted into the gravy. 8 years of I do, and this is my reward, a public bedroom burn in front of people I've known forever. I'm 35, a project manager who thought I'd built something decent with Laura. A suburban life, a decent job, 8 years of marriage that I figured was solid. But that night ripped the mask off. It wasn't even her first jab. She's got a knack for these zingers, always saving them for a crowd, her friends, my cousins, whoever's around to laugh. I used to shrug it off, play the good sport, but this was a gut punch with a side of stuffing. I sat there forcing a grin, while inside I was screaming. The worst part? She didn't even blink, just kept sipping her wine like she'd told the weather instead of torching my dignity. That moment wasn't just a cheap laugh, it was the crack that broke me open. I didn't storm out or fire back. I just chewed my turkey and let the night limp on, but something snapped. 10 years with her, counting dating, and this is where I land? A punchline at my own table. That night lit a fire I didn't know I had, and trust me, it wasn't the cozy kind. I went from swallowing my pride with every bite to plotting a comeback she'd never see coming. I started hitting the gym, traded my sad wardrobe for something sharp, and turned into a guy even I barely recognized. Laura thought she had me on a leash, but by the time she caught on, I was already gone. This isn't some feel-good holiday tale. It's my messy, real story, from getting crushed under her smirk to clawing my way free. There's hurt here, sure, a little tragedy in the wreckage of what I thought we had, but there's also me flipping the script with a grin she can't erase. Stick around, because this ride's got tears, sarcasm, and a win that tastes sweeter than any pie. Thanksgiving 2024 was supposed to be my night to shine. November 28th, and I'm in my Denver home, the suburban castle I've poured 8 years into with Laura. Picture it. The dining room's alive with 15 people, family, friends, a couple of her co-workers from that marketing gig she's always yapping about. The table's a masterpiece. Turkey roasted to golden perfection, stuffing spilling out like it's auditioning for a food magazine, mashed potatoes so creamy they could star in a rom-com. I'm in my element, chatting with my brother-in-law Tom about his latest fishing trip. The room's warm with laughter, the kind of cozy chaos you dream about when you think holidays. I'm feeling good, like I've nailed this hosting thing, king of my little kingdom. Then Laura decides it's time to rewrite the script. She's across the table, 3 glasses of Pinot deep, her cheeks flushed like she's about to drop some grand toast. I catch her eye, thinking maybe she's going to say something sweet, give me a rare nod for pulling this off. Instead, she leans forward, smirking like a cat with a mouse, and belts out, "Oh, come on, you guys should be thankful. At least you have something exciting going on. I can't say the same for our bedroom." Her voice cuts through the chatter like a chainsaw through butter. The room freezes, forks hover, mouths half open, and for a split second it's so quiet I can hear the cranberry sauce plop onto Aunt Linda's plate. Then the chuckles start, scattered at first like someone's testing the waters. Tom snorts into his beer, my cousin Sarah fakes a cough, and Laura's co-worker, Jen, smirks behind her napkin. Me? I feel like I've been sucker-punched by a turkey leg. My face goes hot, like I've stuck my head in the oven instead of pulling out the bird. I force a grin, the kind you plaster on when you're dying inside but don't want the world to know. Guess I'm the stuffing nobody wants, huh? I think to myself, because what else can you do when your wife turns you into the night's entertainment? I glance around, catching the looks. Tom's still chuckling, but his eyes dart away. Sarah's pretending her plate's the most fascinating thing she's ever seen. Jen's grin says she's filing this away for Monday's office gossip. Laura just sits there, smug as hell, like she's nailed a stand-up routine. I grab my glass, take a slow sip of water, and swallow the lump in my throat along with it. The room picks back up, conversations stumbling back to life, but I'm not really there anymore. I'm a ghost at my own feast, haunting the edges of their laughter. Inside it's a mess. My chest's tight, like someone's wrapped it in twine and pulled hard. I want to yell, to flip the table and watch the gravy splatter, but I don't. I sit there, chewing on turkey that tastes like cardboard now, nodding when someone asks me to pass the rolls. I'm good at this, aren't I? Playing the part, keeping the peace. But every laugh, every sidelong glance, it's a knife twisting deeper. And the worst part, this isn't new. Laura's got a whole playlist of these hits. Remember that BBQ at a friend's place last summer? She told everyone I snore like a freight train, got a big laugh while I stood there holding the burgers, or that work party 2 years back when she said I'm not exactly a thrill in the romance department, right in front of her boss. I let it slide every time, told myself it's just Laura being Laura, loud and brash, no harm done. I'd laugh it off, play the good sport, because who wants to be the guy who can't take a joke? But this is different. This is my house, my table, my people, and she's turned it into her stage. I catch her eye again as she's chatting with Jen, tossing her hair like she's auditioning for a shampoo ad. She doesn't even flinch, doesn't toss me a sorry glance or a nudge to say it's all in fun. She's too busy basking in her spotlight, oblivious to the fact that she's just lit a match under 8 years of my patience. I stab at my mashed potatoes, imagining it's her smug little grin. "Oh, Laura, you think you're the star here? Enjoy it, because this king's about to rewrite the ending. The night drags on, and I'm a robot going through the motions. I laugh when Tom cracks a dumb fishing pun, nod. When Aunt Linda rambles about her cat, but it's all noise. My head's spinning with every time she's done this, every little jab I've swallowed like a bitter pill. That time at my cousin's wedding when she said I dance like a drunk penguin, or the Christmas party where she told everyone I'm not the handiest guy after I botched a light bulb change. Always with an audience, always with that laugh of hers trailing behind. I used to think it was cute, her way of keeping things light. Now I see it for what it is. A slow drip of poison, eroding me bit by bit, and I've been the idiot holding the cup. I get up to clear plates, stacking them like I'm building a fortress against the mess in my head. Laura's still at the table, giggling with Jen about some office drama, her voice bouncing off the walls like nothing's happened. I carry the dishes to the kitchen, my hands steady but my insides shaking. I catch my reflection in the window above the sink, just a blurry outline against the dark outside. Who the hell am I? The guy who lets his wife turn him into a punchline at Thanksgiving, 10 years counting the dating days, and this is where I land, a sad sack scraping gravy off plates while she plays queen of the room. I rinse a dish, the water scalding my hands, and it's like I'm washing off more than just food. I'm done being her fool. The guests start trickling out, tossing me quick goodbyes and thanks for the meal. I nod, smile, say any time, but it's all autopilot. Tom claps me on the shoulder, says something about fishing next weekend, and I grunt a reply. Sarah gives me a pitying look, like she knows I'm drowning in there, but she doesn't say it. Good old Aunt Linda hugs me, muttering about how the pie was just divine, and I force a chuckle. Divine, sure, unlike my marriage. The front door clicks shut behind the last of them, and the house goes quiet, eerie after all that noise. I stand there, staring at the wreckage of plates and half-empty glasses, Laura's laughter still ringing in my ears. She's in the living room now, humming some tune, probably proud of her big moment. I lean against the counter, the weight of it all crashing down. This isn't just a bad night, it's the end of something and the start of something else. I'm not sure what yet, but I know one thing. I'm not laughing anymore. Thanksgiving 2024 is over, and the house feels like a tomb. It's November 28th late, and the last guest has stumbled out into the Denver night, leaving me with a pile of dirty plates and a wife who thinks she's just won comedy gold. I'm in the kitchen, scraping cranberry sauce off a dish like it's my life's big mission. The clatter of chinas, the only sound, because Laura's off in the living room, probably texting Jen about how hilarious she was tonight. Her words are still bouncing around my skull. I can't say the same for our bedroom. 8 years of marriage, and I'm reduced to a punchline over turkey. I rinse a plate, the hot water stinging my hands, and I can't shake it. That smug smirk of hers, the way she didn't even look at me after dropping that bomb. I'm not just mad, I'm gutted. I stack the dishes, moving like some sad robot, and every scrape of a fork against porcelain is a jab at what's left of me. I keep seeing their faces, Tom's snort, Sarah's pity, Jen's smirk, all those laughs piling up like bricks on my chest. I thought I could handle it, just sip my water, nod along, let it roll off like I always do. But this time it's stuck, a splinter I can't dig out. I catch myself in the window reflection again, a blurry mess of a guy who spent a decade letting Laura sharpen her claws on him. 10 years, counting the dating days, and what do I have to show for it? a suburban house, and a starring role as her favorite doormat. She waltzes into the kitchen then, humming some tune like she's the star of her own little musical. She's got a couple of glasses in her hands, leftovers from her victory lap with the wine bottle. I turn off the faucet, dry my hands on a towel, and figure it's now or never. I've got to say something, right? I can't just let this sit like another stain on the carpet. So I look at her, keep my voice steady, and ask, "So that little joke at dinner, was that really necessary?" She barely glances up, just tosses the glasses in the sink with a clink. "Oh, come on, don't be so sensitive," she says, her tone light like she's scolding a kid for whining. "It was just a joke." Just a joke. I nod, slow, exhaling through my nose like I'm trying not to choke on the air. "Right," I say, my voice flat. "A joke? And humiliating me in front of our friends and family. That's funny to you?" She scoffs, a sharp little sound that cuts deeper than it should. "Oh, please," she says, grabbing the wine bottle off the counter. "No one even cared. You're acting like I insulted you in some big way. Everyone was laughing. It wasn't a big deal." She pours herself a glass, takes a sip, and looks at me like I'm the one who's lost it. I clench my jaw, staring at her, trying to figure out how she can stand there so casual, like she didn't just torch me in front of everyone. "No one cared?" I say, louder than I mean to. "I sure as hell did." My hands are fists now, but I keep them at my sides. She rolls her eyes, that signature Laura move that says, "I'm the problem here." "You're overreacting," she adds, shrugging like it's nothing. "You always do." And there it is, the twist of the knife. She's sipping wine while I sip defeat, and I'm the one who's overreacting. I could keep going, could list every time she's pulled this crap, every public jab I've eaten with a smile. But what's the point? She's not listening, she never does. She grabs her glass, brushes past me, and heads back to the living room, leaving me standing there like a fool who thought words might matter. I don't follow her, I just stand in the kitchen. The silence roaring in my ears, overreacting, sensitive. The words spin like a bad song I can't turn off. I look at the sink, the pile of dishes still waiting, and it hits me. This is my life, isn't it? Cleaning up her messes while she dances off stage, humming her victory tune. I've been doing it for years, letting her chip away at me, pretending it's fine, because that's what you do when you love someone, right? You take the hits, you keep the peace. But standing there, hands still damp from the sink, I feel something crack, wide open. 10 years with her, and I'm a stranger in my own skin. I head upstairs, slow, like I'm dragging a dead weight behind me. The bedroom's dark when I get there, just the glow from the streetlights sneaking through the blinds. I loosen my tie, toss it on the dresser, and sit on the edge of the bed. The house is quiet now, too quiet, and my mind's anything but. I keep seeing her face, that smirk, the way she didn't even flinch. I keep hearing their laughs, a chorus of people I thought had my back. And I keep thinking about me, the guy who's let this happen over and over. Mirror, mirror, who's the fool here? I catch my reflection across the room, and it's a sorry sight. Tired eyes, slumped shoulders, a man who's been playing the good husband while his wife turns him into a punchline. I flop back on the bed, staring at the ceiling, and it's like the whole damn thing caves in. 8 years of marriage, 2 more dating, and this is what I've got. A woman who thinks it's funny to shred me in front of a crowd, who doesn't even blink when I call her on it. I married a stranger, didn't I? Someone who gets off on watching me squirm, who's made a sport out of kicking me when I'm down. I laugh, a dry, bitter sound that bounces off the walls. Oh, what a tragedy, the King of Thanksgiving brought low by his own queen. I close my eyes, and it's not just anger anymore, it's hurt. Deep and jagged, cutting through the sarcasm I've been hiding behind. But then something shifts. November 28th turns to November 29th as the clock ticks past midnight, and I'm still lying there wide awake. I'm done, I think. Not done with her, not yet, but done with this version of me. The one who takes it, who nods and smiles while she carves me up. I've hit the bottom, rock bottom, and it's a cold, hard place. But you know what's funny? Even in the dark, even with the ache, there's a spark, a little flicker of something I haven't felt in years. Resolve, maybe, or spite. Either way, it's mine. I'm not staying here, not like this. I sit up, the bed creaking under me, and I make a promise to the guy in the mirror. Tomorrow I start climbing out. Laura's had her fun, but this fool's not laughing anymore. November 29th, 2024, dawns grey and cold in Denver, and I'm up before the sun, staring at the ceiling like it's got answers I don't. Thanksgiving's still a fresh wound, Laura's bedroom jab echoing like a bad rerun in my head. I roll out of bed, my joints creaking like I'm 80 instead of 35, and catch my reflection in the mirror. Oh, what a sight. Bags under my eyes, hair a mess, the face of a guy who's been letting life kick him in the teeth for a decade. I laugh, a dry little snort, because if I don't, I might just cry. 10 years with Laura, and I'm this sad sack. Time to do something about it, I guess. So I grab my keys and head out. No coffee, no plan, just a spark I'm too stubborn to let die. I end up at a gym across town, one of those 24-hour joints with neon signs and grunting meatheads. I haven't been in a place like this in months, maybe years, thanks to work and playing Laura's loyal sidekick. I sign up, the guy at the desk giving me a once-over like he's not sure I'll last a week. Fair enough, pal. I step onto the floor, surrounded by clanging weights and mirrors that don't lie. I grab a dumbbell, start lifting, and holy hell, it's rough. My arms shake like they're auditioning for a Tremor movie, and I'm out of breath, faster than a kid running from a bully. Sweating's my new crying, I mutter to myself, because if I can't laugh at this, what's the point? But I keep going, every rep a little jab back at Laura, every drop of sweat a middle finger to the guy I was yesterday. The first week's a comedy of errors. I drop a barbell on my foot, nearly topple off a treadmill, and grunt so loud a guy nearby asks if I'm okay. Yeah, buddy, just reinventing myself over here. No big deal, but I don't quit. By mid-December, I'm a regular, showing up before work, after work, whenever I can. My muscles ache, but they're waking up, and so am I. I start seeing changes, small ones. My arms don't jiggle as much. My chest fills out a shirt instead of sagging like a deflated balloon. I catch myself flexing in the bathroom mirror one morning, and I laugh. Look at me thinking I'm some kind of Rocky Balboa. It's pathetic, sure, but it feels good. Clothes come next. I dig through my closet, and it's a graveyard of faded jeans and baggy tees, the uniform of a guy who stopped caring. I head to a store downtown, pick out stuff that actually fits, button-ups that hug my shoulders, pants that don't scream I gave up in 2018. I get a haircut too, something sharp, not the mop I've been rocking since Laura said she liked it long. Standing tall is the real trick, though. I catch myself slouching at work, straighten up, and suddenly I'm not just the quiet project manager anymore. People notice, ask if I'm doing something different. Yeah, I say, grinning inside. I'm done being Laura's punching bag. Work gets a boost too. I've been coasting for years, clocking in, clocking out, letting Laura's little jabs sap whatever drive I had left. But now, I take on extra projects, pitch ideas in meetings, stay late to get stuff done. My boss, Mike, pulls me aside one day in January 2025, says he's impressed. Didn't know you had this in you, he tells me, and neither did I. Mike, neither did I. I start hanging out with friends again, guys like Mark who I'd let slip away because Laura always had some dinner or errand to drag me to. We grab beers, shoot pool, and I don't check with her first. I'm living for me now, not her calendar, and it's like breathing fresh air after years in a basement. Laura's not blind, though. She starts clocking the changes, and it's almost funny how slow she is to catch on. Early December, I come home from the gym, sweaty and sore, and she's on the couch, scrolling her phone. She glances up, does a double take, but says nothing, just stares, like I've grown a second head. I nod, grab a water, and head upstairs, leaving her to stew. By Christmas, she's lingering longer when I walk by, her eyes narrowing like she's trying to solve a puzzle. I'm wrapping presents for my nephews, wearing a new sweater that doesn't hang off me like a sack, and she says, "You've been at the gym a lot lately." Her voice is light, but there's an edge to it. "Yeah," I say, not looking up. Felt like a change. She waits, expecting more, but I don't give it to her. I can feel her squirm, and damn if it doesn't feel good. January 2025 rolls in, and she's getting twitchy. I'm out more, not just at the gym, but with Mark, with work buddies, living a life that doesn't orbit her. One night, I'm getting ready to meet the guys, buttoning a shirt that actually fits, and she's leaning against the bedroom door, arms crossed. "Where are you going?" she asks, keeping it casual, but her jaws tight. "Out," I say, slipping on my watch. "With who?" she presses, and I meet her eyes in the mirror. "Some friends from work," I tell her, calm as can be. She lets out a short laugh, shaking her head. "You never used to go out like this." I turn, look at her straight on, and say, "Yeah, I guess I didn't." Her lips press together, and I see it, that flicker of unease. She's not used to this, me being the one who's hard to read, the one slipping out of her grip. She starts watching my every move after that. My phone buzzes, and she's eyeing it like it's a bomb. I come home late from a project, and she's on the couch pretending to read, but her eyes follow me to the kitchen. She throws out these little comments, testing the waters. "You've been really busy lately," she says one night, her voice soft but sharp. I nod, grabbing a beer from the fridge. "Yeah." She hesitates, then adds, "You know, if something's wrong, you can talk to me." I almost laugh, a bitter little huff that catches in my throat. Talk to her? After years of her brushing me off, now she wants to chat? I look at her, hold her gaze for a beat, then turn back to my beer. That silence says it all, and she knows it. By February 2025, I'm a different guy. The gym's carved me into something solid, not ripped, but strong enough to feel it. My clothes fit like they're meant to, my hair's on point, and I walk like I own the room, not like I'm sneaking through it. Work's humming, friends are back, and I'm not Laura's shadow anymore. She's rattled, and I can taste it. She's staring at me like I'm a ghost who got hot, and I'm not gonna lie, it's delicious. Every time she squints at me, every time she asks where I've been, it's a little win. I dodge her questions with deadpan quips. "Oh, you know, just living," and watch her stew. She thought she had me locked down, the predictable husband who'd take her crap and smile. Not anymore. I'm slipping through her fingers, and she doesn't know how to stop it. This isn't just a glow-up. It's a middle finger wrapped in a smirk, and I'm just getting started. It's February 2025 now, and I'm not the same guy Laura humiliated back at Thanksgiving. 3 months since that turkey-stained disaster on November 28th, 2024, and I've been carving out a new me, piece by sweaty piece. Gym's my church, my clothes fit like a second skin, and I'm living a life that doesn't bow to her whims. Denver's still cold, but I'm burning inside. A quiet fire she can't put out. Laura's been watching me like a hawk, her little jabs turning into questions, her smirks fading into something twitchy. She's losing her grip, and I'm loving every second of it. But she's not done yet. Oh no, she's got one last act to play, and I'm ready to steal the stage. She starts small, testing the waters. Early February, I come home from the gym and there's dinner on the table. Not just any dinner, my favourite, steak and garlic mashed potatoes, the kind she hasn't made in years. The kitchen smells like a bribe, and she's standing there, apron on, smiling like she's auditioning for Wife of the Year. "Thought I'd surprise you," she says, her voice all honey. I nod, sit down, take a bite. It's good, I'll give her that, but I'm not biting the bait. "This is nice," I say, keeping it flat, no grin, no gush. She waits, expecting me to melt, but I don't. I finish my plate, thank her with a shrug, and head upstairs. She's left staring at the sink, probably wondering why her old tricks aren't working. Too bad, Laura, I'm full of spite, not steak. She ramps it up after that. Mid-February, I'm on the couch, scrolling my phone, and she sits next to me, closer than she's been in months. Her hand brushes mine, a move so rare it's almost funny. I don't pull away, but I don't grab on either. I just sit there, letting her dangle. She starts talking about old times, that trip to Aspen back in 2018, how we laughed over my terrible skiing. "Remember how fun that was?" she says, her eyes all soft. I nod, sip my beer, and say, "Yeah, sure." No nostalgia, no spark. She's fishing for a lifeline, and I'm not throwing one. She keeps trying, cooking more, texting me during the day, asking when I'll be home. It's pathetic, really, watching her scramble like I used to. I dodge her with one-word replies, late, busy, and let her stew in the silence she used to love dishing out. By late February, she's desperate. I come home one night, and she's got candles lit, wine poured, the whole damn romance playbook spread out. I walk in, gym bag over my shoulder, and she's sitting at the table, smiling like she's got a winning hand. "Thought we could use a night in," she says, her voice shaky under the charm. I look at her, the steak sizzling in the background, and I almost laugh. "Oh, Laura, you think candles fix a decade of digs? I sit, eat, let her talk about nothing, but I'm not there. I'm a wall, and she's throwing pebbles at it, hoping for a crack. She reaches for my hand again, and I let her hold it. Limp as a dead fish. She's trying so hard it's tragic, but I'm not buying the show. March rolls in and she's out of moves. It's early March 2025, a week before today, March 06, and I'm in the living room, reading a book I picked up to keep my mind off her nonsense. She comes home early, sits across from me, tucking her hair behind her ear like she's nervous. "I was thinking," she starts, her voice softer than usual. "Maybe we should go on a trip, just us, get away for a while." I close the book, look at her and see it. The fear in her eyes, the crack in her armor. She's not suggesting a vacation. She's begging for a reset, a chance to pull me back into her orbit. I lean back, let the silence stretch, and she forces a smile. "I just think we need it," she says, her words wobbling. "Need it?" I set the book down, lean forward, elbows on my knees, and look her dead in the eye. I don't think that's a good idea, I say, slow and steady. Her smile falters and she blinks, like she's not sure she heard me right. Why not? She asks, her voice dropping. I take a breath, let it out, and then I drop the bomb. Because I'm done. The words land heavy, like a brick through glass, and she freezes. Done with what? She says, quieter now, but I can hear the edge. I lean in closer, keep my voice calm but sharp. Done with this, done pretending that Thanksgiving was just a joke, done ignoring the way you've treated me for years, done being the guy you can take for granted. She blinks again, her mouth opening like she's got a comeback, but nothing comes out. I keep going because I've held this in too long. You think that little jab at dinner was funny, turning me into a laughingstock in front of everyone? That's been your game for years, Laura, and I ate it every time, smiled, laughed, let you have your stage. But that night, that was the last straw. 8 years of marriage, 10 counting dating, and you've made a sport out of cutting me down. I'm done playing. Her face tightens, and I see the gears turning, but I'm not stopping. You didn't even flinch, didn't care, just kept sipping your wine like I'm some prop in your show. Well, the prop's walking off set. She finally finds her voice, and it's shaky. So that's it? You're just giving up on us? I let out a laugh, short and bitter, shaking my head. You gave up on us a long time ago. The only difference is, I finally noticed. She opens her mouth again, ready to argue, but then she closes it. Maybe she knows I'm right. Maybe she's just out of steam. For a moment, she just sits there, swallowing hard, her eyes darting like she's looking for an escape. Then she nods, slow, and says, So what now? I stand up, exhale, and look down at her. Now I move on. That's it. The line's drawn, and I'm stepping over it. The next few days are a blur, sorting out the mess of a marriage that's been rotting longer than I'd admit. I talk to a lawyer, start the divorce ball rolling, and it's ugly. She doesn't take it lying down, oh no. First, she acts like it's no big deal, shrugging it off like I'll come crawling back. Then the anger hits, accusations flying about how I'm abandoning her, how I'm the bad guy here. By March 06, 2025, today, she's in full panic mode, begging me to talk, to fix it. I see her one last time yesterday, and she's crying, mascara streaking, saying she didn't mean it, that she can change. I almost laugh again. Change? Now, after 8 years of this crap, I don't budge. You had your fun, I say, my voice cold. Enjoy the spotlight, because I'm done clapping. She sobs, and it's a tragic little scene straight out of some soap opera. 8 years wasted, and she's the one crying. Oh, the irony's thicker than that Thanksgiving gravy. I walk out, leave her sitting there, and it's over. The divorce is in motion, and I'm free, or at least freer than I've been since I said I do to a woman who thought I'd never say I won't. It's not a happy ending, not really, but it's mine, and that's enough. It's March 06, 2025, and I'm standing here, a free man, or at least free enough to breathe without Laura's shadow choking me out. The divorce is grinding through. A messy tangle of lawyers and paperwork, but I'm done caring about the details. She's off somewhere, probably still crying over her mascara-stained tragedy, while I'm piecing together a life that's mine. No more punchlines, just peace or whatever passes for it, after 8 years of playing the fool. I look back at Thanksgiving 2024. That night she turned me into her personal jester, and it's almost funny now. Almost. I lost a wife, sure, but I found a spine, and that trade's worth every burnt bridge. I'm not some hero in a shiny cape. I'm just a guy who got tired of eating dirt and decided to stand up. The gym's still my haunt, my clothes still fit, and I've got friends who don't need me to check in with the warden first. Laura thought she'd keep me on a leash forever, but I slipped the collar and left her holding an empty rope. She's got her tears, her regrets, and I've got my freedom. It's not a fairy tale ending, no violins or sunset rides. It's raw, a little jagged, like a scar you wear proud. 8 years down the drain, and yeah, that stings, but I'd rather feel this than nothing at all. So here's the kicker. If you're stuck as someone's punching bag, you don't have to stay there. I took my life back. One sweaty rep, one cold stare at a time. It's not pretty, but it's real. I'm the hero of my own soap opera now, and the credits are rolling. Time to write a new season.